Hey, it's JD here, and welcome back to another Sunday evening jam. It is a very special weekend. I'm sure you're all celebrating WrestleMania, right? And that's great if you are. I am celebrating getting to sit in the same room as Sarah J. How are you doing, Sarah J?
Aw. I'm doing fantastic. It's like 60 degrees and super sunny here in Buffalo. Spring has
Oh,
sprung.
beautiful.
Here for
Patios
it.
starting to fill up.
What was that?
Patios starting to fill up. It's weekends like this in
And
Toronto that there are people sitting on the patios because it's like,
and
we gotta
there's
get out.
people just outside grilling today too. They're just
That's
like, as
right.
soon as it gets to that temperature, they're like, "We don't care. We're out there barbecuing."
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, did you do anything special for 420?
Well, I'm here with you at
Yeah, that's
4:20
true.
on
Here we
420.
are.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm doing. I'm
smoked.
enjoying
I
this
got
nice beverage as well. So,
oh, what
yeah.
is this?
This is an infused cran apple. It's like an apple cider that I picked up from the
Oh,
dispensary here. Yeah. So I was
that's
like, I'll
cool.
enjoy
It's
this
neat when
while
they
we're
can
on
do
our
stuff like
live.
that. Yeah. Oh, that's great. I got home, at 3:00, no, shortly after 3, and we got sort of settled, and then I was like to Jessica, I was like, "Oh, I gotta go get high. It's almost showtime." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a 420 show." And she's like, "Oh, okay, that's good, because if it were the opposite, then, you know." So, there's that. Yeah, I went outside and smoked, like, 3 joints just to get to a certain height, a certain 700-foot ceiling, if you will. Um, I want to take a moment to introduce somebody who is part of membership and somebody who has uh, been on the top 40 at this point. I'm not saying anything spoilerish because you've already heard the episode. And she hails from the Isle of Man, and it's our good friend Janet from the Isle of Man. So give it up. Round of applause. Janet, how are you doing on this hiptastic day?
Lovely. It's been not quite 60 degrees here, but it's been nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm doing
beautiful.
good. Yeah.
That is
I'm
great.
420 ready, although actually technically it's 9:20 here.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
So I
So you've
gotta
just
do
been
it
going all
twice,
day then.
It's a little encore celebration.
Well, exactly, yeah.
All
It's
right,
like
well, let's
doing
do
New
this
Year's
then.
in every
Cheers.
time zone, right?
Yeah, only yes, definitely, because it's where you're 5 hours ahead of us.
I love it.
Oh, nothing came out. Oh, blurred.
Do you know, actually, there is a connection between Gord and the Isle of Man. I'd forgotten all about this, but he was a
Oh
huge
my
Bee Gees
gosh.
fan. He was, wasn't he? He was a
He
massive Bee
was?
Gees fan. Yeah. Well, they were born here.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. That is
It's
wild.
true. It's
That
true,
is
yeah. Uh-huh.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is a big
And
act.
on our promenade seafront down in Douglas, there's one of those classic bronze statues of the three brothers in a row. It's really good. It's done by the same guy that did the Beatles in Liverpool on Pier Head. It's really good. So, of course, they get cones, they get dogs, they get balloons in all the pictures. And yeah, but I'd forgotten all about that, the connection between Gord and the Isle of Man, the Bee Gees.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love that scene in the movie where he's just sort of like, "You're my guilty pleasure,"
I
and then he
know.
starts singing the song, and he's just so fucking adorable.
I
It's
love that
amazing.
too because it just shows such a real human side, which is kind of funny to say, but, like, he even fangirls too, and it's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yay," It's like, it's not just us, it's he's has that same feeling with artists too, so it's kinda nice to see that, like, "Oh, that's
Guts
cool."
to admit it's the Bee Gees, though, has to be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. So what are you
But yeah,
partaking in on this 420? Are you a vapor? Are you a
I've
traditional
got
joint smoker? Are you a gummy?
I'm a bit of both, really. I'm a vapor, and a
Oh,
bit of a
okay.
spliff smoker. Yeah,
Yeah.
because over here, oh my god, over here, this is medicinal. I have a prescription, but otherwise, I'd get busted and fined because it's
Oh,
really illegal.
really?
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, we go to prison.
Oh my
It
god. Wow.
it's just ridiculous unless you've got a prescription, which I'm lucky enough to have, really. So
Yeah, I would say so.
yeah, it's
Gee
not so bad
whiz.
in the UK. They tend to because we're not part of the UK, but they tend to turn a blind eye there, but not here. Oh my god. Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm, interesting.
Mhm. Mhm. So a lot of
Damn
people
it.
over
You
here
have
have
a
got a
song.
prescription. Well, I've got
You
an
have a
album
song that you
actually.
go to when you're an whole album. Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
I
I wanna
just
write down
don't.
what I think it is. Can I write down what I think it
Well,
is?
you can guess. Come on,
We're taking
gotta be.
guesses.
No, I'm gonna write it
Yeah,
down, and then you are going to tell. You're gonna, because
you'll
this is
probably be
mine
right.
as
I know
well.
you'll be right.
Oh my god, my hand is so stoned.
Oh dear.
Okay. Alright, I've got it written down. Sarah, do you have a guess?
I don't wanna guess.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
taking
fair.
a guess.
Okay, we'll guess at the same time, and I'll hold it up, but I guess when I hold it up, it'll be backwards. So you say it, and I'll turn my card around. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's day for night every time.
Oh, well, that's yeah, I
It's a
always say
solid
that
choice.
the record where they became they left being a beer drinking band and became a pot smoking band. That's or a fan band. Beer
But
band versus pot
but
band.
still
Yeah.
those, like, the tracks, Inch and Hour, et cetera, in there. You know, they've still
Mm.
got the rockers in there, but yeah, I just say it's got some really, like, dreamy chord progressions, which is the Thugs is probably I was listening to it before actually just to remind myself that it is my go-to band for that when I'm a bit stoned, I listen to Day for Night. Yeah.
It's funny,
I
I was
mean,
gonna say the same one when he asked me, I was gonna say the same album.
what about you
Day for
then,
night?
JD?
Trouble at the Hen House all the way. All the way. Sherpa, Don't Wake Daddy, Springtime, Flamenco. What's the last song on the record? Put It Off. Like, holy
Oh
It's
god,
Christ.
I
interesting 'cause
love
that's
that.
not
Like
an
just
album
some
that I visit pretty regularly, so it's interesting for you to say that.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's so atmospheric. There's so much like you probably know well, you would know way more than me, like in terms of um the tools they must have used to, get the tone. There's like some great bass tone on that record. There's some dynamite album tone on that record. It just and it's different. It stands out. It definitely makes sense going from uh up to here. Like you can see the line once you get to Trouble at the Hen House. You're like, okay, yeah, this is where they should have went. You know?
Mhm. It's funny you bring up the bass because whenever I listen to an album and I'm, real lit, I just turn the bass up even a little bit higher. It's just something about Sinclair that
Oh
sounds
yeah.
real good.
Oh yeah. He can
Mm.
fucking just groove.
I was thinking that
Definitely.
just before. You can really hear it, can't you? It's just
Yeah.
when you're a bit stoned, it definitely I mean, all music is enhanced when you're stoned, obviously, but the hip being the hip, you get that
Yeah.
little bit of bass and some of the stuff on Day for Night, really funky bass. Love it.
Yeah, it
Oh,
just hits especially,
Yeah.
a little nicer for sure, for sure. And then of course, just falling into the lyrics, which we do and talk about anyways, but then you're just like,
Yes.
"All right, that's it."
We could say
do you
the
ever get
same about go on, sorry.
do you ever get frightened? Do you ever get frightened with your interpretation of lyrics when you're stoned? You're listening to them and they for some reason, if you're having, maybe you're a little off whack,
Yep.
they tend to be a bit more menacing.
Yeah,
Gord can be so
sometimes there are
menacing.
songs that I and, I'm talking about the hip specifically, there will be songs like that would be when I would skip songs on albums. Just because I'm so much more, in your feels and in all the things, and so
Right.
that's when I would tend to skip songs, whereas just normally if it's in the car, I just play it through, but that's kinda when just because I'm much more, kind of into the music in that deeper way. So there would
Right.
be, like, maybe a song where I'm like, "Oh, I can't do this one right now." And so it'd be like so that's the only time that I really skip songs.
I know,
Or when they're
I
fine.
can't say I've ever been disturbed in any way by any of Gord's lyrics. No, because I don't know them. I know a lot of them, but I don't really know them all, so
No,
no,
I'm the same. I'm the same.
yeah, I can't. Although I have to say, after listening to one of your earlier podcasts and the one where you did that thing about the bear, I'd never thought about it like that, where the bear's like spying
On
on the
on
couple because he wants to eat them.
on Fully and
Mhm.
Completely.
No, the song called "The Bear." Oh God, which album is it on? It's one
No,
of the
no,
later
I
ones.
mean the on the podcast Fully and Completely, right?
Yeah,
Is
the
that where we were
Fully and
talking
Completely
about it?
podcast. Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
yes, and I thought that's quite disturbing that, where
yeah,
you'd sort of said, yeah, that he's spying on them because he actually wants to eat them because the heart's like a caramelized onion, and that would make it all taste
yes.
really
Oh,
good. I thought,
oh
was
my
he really
gosh.
thinking that? Really, was he?
I mean, it is based on a story of them finding that bear and the people. If am I totally out to lunch on this? I may be out to lunch on this, so I won't continue the story. But we definitely go into detail in Fully and Completely, and maybe I'll post that episode tonight to if anyone wants to do any research. Janet, you were going to say something earlier when you and I collided there. I'm not sure if you still remember that thought, but if you do you want to go back to it? And
I
just
can't.
before you do, if
Mhm.
you're in the chat and you want to participate, we've got Darren who said that going back now that he believes it was one of his favorite bands, and that's of course referring to the Bee Gees. But if anyone's got a song that they want to discuss and they're in the chat, please let us know.
I've
Janet, take it
remembered.
away.
Yes, I've remembered. The other thing that I really sort of get into, and I've had a few smokes, is stuff like Fight, where you get a really intense vocal performance from Gord, and you just think, "Oh my god," the voice it's just so powerful. And some of those songs, that one particularly. And then you've got that excellent, the guitar, the really bluesy sort of, oh, it's just great when you stone that song. Even though it's
You
not
know what's
not anything like Day for Night, it is just so good because of the way he sounds.
Yes. Yes, he's so intense and into it. And I was craving the other day, and I listened to it 3 times in a row. I got relatively high, and, uh, I was craving The Moment Is a Wild Place because that vocal performance is basically second to none.
Oh, I know.
I don't know that he ever had a performance that strong, and his performances are all fucking amazing, we know that. But, that was a strong fucking performance. If you haven't given Lester Parfait a chance, put it on right now, and I think it's the 6th song on the record. The Moment Is a Wild Place. At least give that a listen.
That and,
But listen to them all.
North Shore,
North Shore is
that's
great,
another one.
Camaro.
Yeah, it's a great album, that.
Yeah.
The
Everybody
whole
Sing Your
album, he
Goodbye
just sounds fab on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just man, he was so, for lack of a better term, fertile, between 2010 and 2015 or 2014 before he got sick.
Mm.
Like, in that time, he did Lester Parfait, We Are the Same, World Contain no, not World Container, Now for Plan A, the record with the Sadies, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's insane. Somebody in the chat, please
Interesting
correct me if
that,
I'm
like,
wrong, but
subconsciously that, like he knew or, like, some something new somewhere and was like, you
Right?
have to create all these things now within this time. Like, it's very interesting. Like, there's
It
some,
is.
power greater than all of us that was like, you have to create all these things now. Needs to
Yeah.
happen now.
Agreed.
Bittersweet though, isn't it?
Trippy.
Because that album, Luster Parfait, to me, it was just at his vocal height then. It was just great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what would have come next? And when you think from a hip perspective, Man Machine Poem, one of their most adventurous records. Like, really, whether you like it or not, it's definitely experimental, but there's some, like, Insarnia is a tragically hip song through and through. It's made for sitting around a fire and strumming on your guitar, So, I don't know, it's just a great goodbye, but it's also, like you said, Janet, to steal your phrase, it's bittersweet. It's really bittersweet because who knows what we would have got.
Yeah. But we've got all that back catalogue to enjoy. We've got
Right.
a fantastic back catalogue and all the live stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there I just haven't seen. I know it's there. I have links to it because the guy on Tragically Hit the Forum does all the archives. I think, is it Darren? I think it is
Darren,
Darren.
That's
yeah.
It's
Darren. Yeah,
Darren. Yes,
it's
Darren, you're
actually
amazing.
boom.
Yeah.
Darren's got some songs.
The New
Speaking
Maybe
of
is one of
Darren,
my new songs I've been just
isn't
so
it
into.
good?
Oh, it's so good.
Me as well. And it's one that, for me, because your favorites came out again, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, your favorites came out in 2004. And uh I was I was off the grid in 2004. Like, I wasn't listening to the hips. So both those two bonus tracks, No Threat and the New Maybe, those bonus tracks that start and end your favorites are fucking tremendous.
Yeah, that one's been in heavy rotation lately for me, for sure.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Sarah.
Yeah, I really like that one a lot lately.
Emperor Penguin used to be for me as well. Again, that guitar tone and then this big slide outro, and then those goddamn lyrics. It's just beautiful.
Mhm.
It's absurd. It's well, don't take my word for it. Listen to the Hawksley Workman episode of the Tragically Hip Top 40 Countdown, because he is so goddamn eloquent and just perfect
He
in what
says
he
it all
in what he does.
perfectly.
He does. He really truly does.
Speaking of links and everything, before I forget, I finally listened to the episode from this week today. It's been a busy week. But in the episode this week, the September 29th, 2015 show was talked about. And was his name Alan? I'm sorry, the name is
Yeah,
escaping.
Alan from Federal Way. Yep.
Alan. He had mentioned that it was on YouTube to watch, and I couldn't find it. So, if
What?
you have the link for it or know where I can find it, because I wanna watch it. So, I made a little note and was like, "I have to ask you about this." The
I'm
9/29.
pretty sure that Alan sent that to me. Let me look in my mail when we get done this, because I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he sent it saying, "Oops, I forgot to send it to you before," or maybe he posted it. It might be
Maybe he
posted in the
posted it.
Facebook group. Alan, if
Okay.
you're
Yeah,
on the
because it's
chat.
not in the show notes, so that's why I was like, I
No,
wanna
it's
watch
not,
it.
because I didn't get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Alright. So, I was like, I wanna
Here's a
watch it. Of course I wanna watch it.
here's another one. Janet, what do you think of Here in the Dark?
Oh yes. Well, I'm a fan of Man Machine Poem
Yeah.
because I mean, being over here, I didn't get a hip album just came. I didn't have any because obviously not being in Canada, there was no radio play, there was nothing. I would just sort of until I could join some social groups. It was just, oh, there's a
Right.
new album out with Tragically Hip. So I didn't get anything up front on any of them really. So I just dived in and some of them were growers. This one wasn't. Really liked this one the minute I heard it.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't know whether my tastes and choices in the top 40 influenced by the fact that I never heard any of the singles as singles.
That's really fascinating.
They weren't really, well, until I think possibly we are, and now for Plan A, because by then I was in the hip club and all of that, so I did get a few heads ups, but before that, no. So I don't know whether what I've chosen and how I would choose my favourite songs is influenced by that, because I might not go for any of the singles because I don't really know what they were. Not contemporaneously, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think about that the other night, and I wondered if Matt, the guy in Portsmouth, felt the same way.
We'll have to ask him in the chat. Not in this chat, but we have a membership chat. If you are in the chat right now and you want to be around the table with Sarah J, Janet, and I, you can simply go to buymeacoffee.com/TTH top 40 and make a donation of any kind, and then you're in membership. You'll get an exclusive link for your episodes 10 days early. You will get a private chat, and then you get opportunities for roundtables. But the cool thing is that it really supports this podcast. And this podcast is out to support the ALS Society of fucking Canada. So, in a roundabout way, you're making some change and doing good. So that's pretty fucking cool. Anyway, I digress.
Well, talking about episodes, I don't want to get, too far and wrap it up. What's coming tomorrow on the show?
Okay, so the NHL, the Stanley Cup Playoffs, I was going to say kick off today, but that's mixing metaphors, isn't it? The Stanley Cup Playoffs start today, and by happenstance, this is really what's cool. Like, Sarah's going to get a fucking kick out of this. She's going to make this cosmic somehow. I don't know. Because I recorded this episode in October, and Ron picked the song. So he didn't know where it landed on the countdown. I didn't tell him where it landed on the countdown. And then when I saw the date that it comes out, April 21st, the second day of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I'm burying the lead here, but Ron MacLean is going to be joining us on the episode. So that's a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to you guys hearing that conversation, because he's a treasure. And as such, he's again, eloquence is something that is important to me, and I love the way he speaks, his cadence, his rhythm. He's got these old stories. It's funny to say he's old timey now, but he's sort of old timey. It's a very lucky circumstance that brought this about. But here we are, and number 25 tomorrow. If you're a close listener and you're into Easter eggs, you already know what the song is. But if you don't know, you're going to be excited to hear it, and you're going to be excited to hear Ron break it down. So thanks for that. Are you looking forward to it? Like,
I'm excited.
Buffalo,
my mom
who's
is
a
so
hockey
excited. Well, you know how I feel about hockey, and you
That's
know
right.
how my mom feels about hockey, which is the
She
exact opposite.
said she didn't give a fuck about hockey.
Yes, that is an exact line I have said in my life. So that's why that lyric is so funny to me. My mom is so excited to listen to this episode tomorrow. She cannot wait. And this is the love that I have. I'm going to let her have the Leafs game on in my house while we're having Easter dinner. So everybody can mark that on the calendar. That's a miracle or something. I don't know.
See, hockey means something different to me entirely. Hockey's running around in a muddy field with a ball.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
We have hockey and we have ice hockey. You call it field hockey, don't you? I think.
That's right. We distinguish. That's how we distinguish one.
Yep.
But Americans call it ice hockey occasionally, but usually not.
Usually, we just distinguish it with the field hockey. With that would be the difference, yeah. Which field hockey is, fucking brutal.
Yeah.
What we played in school, yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember
Getting
my grandpa talking about it. My grandpa, came over from England when he was 12, I
Okay.
believe. So, yeah, he would talk about playing hockey all the time. He'd
Huh.
talk about taking out kids' knees in school, and
Mhm.
just like, "Oh my god, what were you doing in school?"
Yeah, hockey
Our
ball
friend
to the back of the head, great, you know.
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Our friend Matt from Portsmouth is a big ice hockey fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that wild that
Is
there's
that
enough
what did you say he's come around to it, though?
Matt?
Yeah, I
Matt from
think you
Portsmouth?
said that. Yeah, that he has come
Oh,
around
no,
to it.
he's become well, yeah, I have no idea his story with, how he really got into it, but he's fucking crazy into it now, like, going into playoffs and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. Far out, and Matt from Portsmouth is gonna be joining us on October 4th at a celebration of the hip for ALS. There we go.
Mm.
Holding it up. Oh, come on, Apple. It's backwards anyways. A celebration of the hip for ALS. A celebration of the hip for ALS. And it's just going to be a big party. And last week we made the announcement that Strictly Hip's going to be joining us. Tickets right now are the early bird ticket prices, so they're as cheap as they're going to get. We've sold a bunch, and there's only a limited number of early bird seats, so get them while they're hot. Janet,
Mm.
if if there was like a bridge across the Atlantic Ocean, do you think you'd ride your bike to the event?
I'd drive, yeah, I'd definitely come. In fact,
I think it's just
if
a
there
bike.
was one of those, I've just seen the Tragically Hip far more than I did. So I would have been, yeah, all the time. But, oh, for sure, yeah. But I possibly might be in Europe beginning of October, so,
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'll treat you.
yeah. But I'll get
I
back
Gorgeous.
love
to
you.
Canada one day, I will. Uh,
Excellent. We'll tip a pint for sure, or or smoke a spliff, whatever. We'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, so I'm gonna get to it right now. My absolute favorite song to be high to of Pink Floyd probably gets the crown,
Oh,
but
yeah,
my favorite
yeah.
I was gonna say my favorite song of all time, but then it's like, oh, Pink Floyd. My favorite Tragically Hip song of all time for this purpose is Sherpa. And and maybe it's just because, he says we were high, we were Sherpa high. And that is just a very clever turn of phrase to me. I think it's a clever, clever turn of phrase, because the Sherpa does take you to the top of a mountain or guides you as you mountain climb. And, but I do believe it's about marijuana because, again, the tone of that guitar, the waviness, or it's not the tone, sorry, there's like almost like a flange or something, right? Like it's just so fucking great. And and then again, Janet, like you said, or Sarah J, like you said, then all of a sudden you're just so immersed in the music, you're practically doing a back float in the sonic wave pool. And then suddenly you hear the lyrics and it's like, Jesus Christ, what is he talking about? Cannonball trees? Oh my God. This is incredible. This is just absolutely
And
incredible.
somehow you're picking up phrases that you never picked up before.
Right.
You're like, "Wait a minute. What did he say? How did I
Yes.
not get that?" Like, hold on, I've listened to this song how many times? It's just like, somehow you're just like tuned in that moment and you just hear it differently.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that happens. Like you needed to hear it at that time and you weren't receptive to hearing it ever again, but just like at that moment, for some reason, you had to hear that. I like that. That's one of my favorite things.
You stay down that
Mm.
rabbit hole for a while when that happens, I find.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
start to get like real reflective and you're like, holy shit, this applies to whatever in your life right now. And then you just go on a
Yeah.
whole thinking
And
voyage.
something will be on my playlist, something, I'll just say to my Alexa, play whatever, and something will come up like a real deep cut that I haven't heard for ages. And I think, oh my God. And then I'll just listen to that and I will just go off on one till it happens again. And it happens a lot. But you know what I mean, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you listen to the song repeatedly then? Or do you step away from it after that first listen?
I know. I listened to it a couple of times and I'll add it to a sort of, what do you call it, frequent favourites list, so it plays quite a lot. And then I'll go back to one of my original lists, and then it'll all happen again with something else. Happened with the Apartment song the other week. I thought, oh God, it's just such a great, great song.
Yeah.
And it isn't one that stood out before. And suddenly you'll just be really into it.
It's
I'd
very
almost forgotten
visual.
about it, and I almost had to say, Alexa, what is this song? I thought, oh no, you can't. It's the Tragically Hip it is. But I hadn't heard it for such a long time that I'd just forgotten how good it was.
Mhm.
Yeah. Might have been a little bit stoned like, but yeah, such a good song.
Oh, shit. That's great. Well, folks, that's what I have to say today. Sarah, do you have anything to plug or what's coming up this week on the network or the Patreon? Talk to me about DATC for a minute.
Yeah, we are putting out a lot of things. Our other show on the network has got shows every Monday. My show comes out every Tuesday, every other Tuesday sometimes. We're doing our Rough Gauge featured artist series over there. I just did next month's artist. I am interviewing next weekend a artist, and she's actually based out of Kingston. And if you follow the Hip on Instagram, in their stories a couple weeks ago, they shared a really amazing piece of her artwork. She works exclusively with wood, and she made this absolutely amazing guitar. You hang your guitar on it and it goes on the wall, and then you hang your guitar on it, and it's got these beautiful black wings, and it has these like shoots of wheat and everything. And so all the different parts of this beautiful thing she made are different Hip songs, and it's just this absolutely beautiful piece of artwork. And so I connected with her on Instagram, was like, we have to talk for a million reasons. I'm really excited to talk with her. So that'll be coming up on my show, Dropped Among This Crowd, very soon. And Darren's going to be on my show soon. And Kirk, I'm nailing down a time with him. So he's going to be
Oh,
on the show as
fun.
well. And yeah, just lots of things. And Patreon, we're going to be doing our book club pretty soon over there on Patreon. And yeah, so just datcmediacompany.com. You can find everything there.
And your social handle?
Well, I'm just Sarah Jahimiak on all of the things, so give me a follow. And
There you go.
yeah, DATC Media, Dropped Among This Crowd podcast. You'll find me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Janet, anything you want to talk about to wrap her up?
No, not really. I'd just say thank you for having me on. It's been very good. Sit and talk
Oh,
about
I'm
the
glad
Hip.
this worked out because you're off tomorrow, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm off work
Beautiful.
tomorrow, so I can sort of go and finish my wine now and go to bed. But yeah,
Little
it's
Willie
on a
Nelson
work.
and the wine.
Yeah, and on a work night, can't really do that because of what I
No.
do. It's computery and hospital, and yeah, I've got to be straight
Okay.
headed. But not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's I can just stuff my face with chocolate.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
beautiful. This sounds like a great day.
Sounds like a fantastic day.
Definitely, yeah. Probably pissed down with rain, this being the Isle of Man, but what? Hey.
Oh, my fingers are crossed that it's not. And stop by any time that it works out, Janet, of course.
I will.
We love having you.
Thank you very
Sarah,
much.
thanks for joining us again, as you
course.
do every week, my faithful companion. And for me, JD, that's what is happening this week. So pick up your shit.
Good night. Bye.